It's fucking material. You know what I mean? Got it. Recording is in progress. I can't like put pictures up because it's actual material. It's not like, you know what I mean? It's not curtains actually. It's like it's the shit that they make the screens out of, like the screen porches that are like electronically controlled and shit. I worked at this place. I think I told you that shit. I worked at this place where we use that material every day, and they had piles of it. And so I was like, yo, can I have some of that? I made a whole fucking like canopy screen over our deck. And then I made these curtains behind me that act as like soundproofing when I'm in there recording. You know what I'm saying? Because they're really thick. It's like a thick material. Sound doesn't get out here much. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty good actually. I'm kind of a Elon Muskish genius for doing it the way I did it, because it's all like what you got on hand type shit. You know what I'm saying?
Pretty dope.
Elon Muskish. That sounds like an 80s cologne. Wasn't there a Musk in the 80s?
There was definitely a Musk. Musk was a there was like tons
and
of
some musty
brands,
motherfuckers. Yeah,
tons of
Musk
cologne brands that called their scent Musk, like tons of
them. Which is weird because that's like musty, right? Like it's.
I don't really know what Musk is supposed to be.
I mean, it's too close to musty. I'm gonna tell you that.
Yeah, it's definitely
you know
pretty close.
It's definitely like no one's ever been like, oh, you have a beautiful musk.
Hey, maybe
that permeates about you.
You know what? Maybe they did before us. Maybe that
before who?
over before like our generation. Maybe people did say that.
Bro,
maybe they were like, "Oh,
I was 12 in 90. 80s is kind of my generation. I was a kid in the 80s, but I was,
So maybe in the 70s, they were like, "Hey, people, you smell very muskish."
Hey, girl got a musk, boy.
I mean, it might be a thing.
Never. In the 70s, they was like, "Sweet daddy," shit like that.
Sweet daddy.
You know what I mean? It's a different. They wasn't saying musk. I guess maybe Europeans were. That's probably where all the colognes come from, anyway. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
I'm gonna start the live so I can send out invites.
Yeah, the fashion world and shit. Yeah, I can't. I have another phone, but I can't get on Facebook and shit with it, so I can't do all the other invite shit. And I have to have my laptop open too, and I can't do that on this desk. Like 8.
Episode 8, right?
Yeah, with the faux. I look like a dude trying to throw it West Side who can't cross his fingers.
Jesus Christ.
What? That's hilarious.
Yeah, it is. It is funny.
Welcome to Cypher Den Live. Live from the Den podcast, actually. But you know what I realized is when I got that new phone that I couldn't hook into Instagram and start sharing stuff. I hadn't been keeping up with it because it slipped my mind that I wasn't on it on Instagram. I thought my Instagram was already connected to it, but I got a different phone because my other phone broke and I never reconnected to it. So I got to reconnect it to it on Instagram. So start following us on Instagram, y'all. Start following us on Instagram at Cypher Den Live.
Oh, so you're gonna start posting clips on there and shit?
Yeah, I just realized that was what was going on because you had asked me last time. Hey, you're not posting on Instagram. Yeah, I forgot. That's what happened. So it just slipped my mind. So that's back on.
Well, yeah, dope.
Maybe we'll get some people. What's going on? You got a tour coming up?
Yeah, next week it starts.
You're getting close. Yeah, man.
A week away. I'm pretty excited about it. If
I win the lottery, I'll show up in one of the cities, surprisingly.
Oh, word. So, yeah. That would be crazy. So you've been playing the lottery lately? Is that
I'm not only playing. I don't even play. I don't.
Well, why did you even say it? You're just gonna manifest money in your hands?
Yeah, that's definitely gonna happen. Yes, I'm actually manifesting it by saying yes right now to that question. Yes, I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel it. I feel like
how you like them apples? You like it? Do you like apples?
I do. I love apples.
Manzanas. I'm learning Spanish lately. I told you this last time. I'm learning. I'm getting good. I'm learning. I really am. So much so that I actually helped. I helped translate for this dude at a 7-Eleven recently. I was very proud of myself. I'm taking mediocre Spanish lessons. They're good, but they're slow. It's slow learning. And I helped this dude translate. He was trying to sell this dude $45. Dude didn't understand what was going on. Blah 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 blah. And so, yeah, dude wasn't from. He didn't speak English either. He spoke a whole nother. I'm not sure where these people that own this 7-Eleven are from. This family of dudes, and I don't know. I really, I don't ask. I don't really care. They cool. You know what I'm saying? There's one dude that always calls me Big Money, Big Pimpin', Big Money, Big Pimpin'. I mean, every time I go in there, it's really weird. It's actually starting to be uncomfortable because I feel like it's racist. I have a joke about it. I'm like, does this dude think I'm Jay-Z?
Hey, you remember when we were in New York and those people thought that you were somebody's cousin or some shit?
Yeah, the dude in Harlem. We were in Harlem and the dude walked up to me. He's like, yo, some name. And I'm like, nah, man. And y'all were like, what the fuck is going on? I'm like, nah, man. And he's like, you don't live over 126th in the such and such building apartment? I'm like, nope. You ain't such and such a son? And I'm like, nope. I'm like, but peace, man. And we kept going. But he swore I was a dude from like 3 blocks away that lived in a project building or something like that. A high-rise building. Because remember, there were some high-rise buildings right there, apartments and shit.
Yeah, that was a fun tour.
Not high-rise,
that was
but
dope.
it was, that was fun. I just remember walking through shit and the fun it was just walking through the neighborhoods themselves. That was dope.
Yeah. He's coming in, all right?
Cool.
All right.
I'm trying to see. There we go.
Yo, can you hear me?
What up? What up? Yes.
Cool. Peace. How y'all?
How you doing, man? Good.
I'm good, man. Just got up from a little nap. I've been traveling. Just got back home from New York. And yeah, things are good, man.
Dope.
Yeah, super dope, man. What I think I briefly saw a little bit of what was going on out there, but why don't you explain what was going on in New York?
Well, I got asked by Red Bull to come out and DJ a couple of like activation parties they had. There's a big esports tournament that was going on in at Madison Square Garden. And so it was for this game League of Legends, and it's like the world championship of this game. And I wasn't really familiar with it. Like, I've heard of the game, but I don't know anything about it. And so yeah, this was apparently a big deal. So they were like, Red Bull's a sponsor, and they wanted to have like parties. The event was sold out, so they wanted to have a place where people could watch, the finals or whatever, and some music. So yeah, they had me doing some playing some tracks and freestyling a little bit. It was a lot of fun.
That's dope.
So I did that 3 days in a row, and then just got back.
That's what's up.
What's up?
Well, I'm sorry.
Live from the damn podcast. We should probably introduce who we talking to.
Yeah. Let's do that.
We are live with Mega Ran, MC extraordinaire. And like you were saying, I'm into the gaming culture as well. Go ahead, but I'm sorry, Danko.
I mean, he's got his hands in a whole lot of different things.
Oh,
man.
I know, and that's why I was going to
let you. He's got a song in a movie recently. He had a song in a video game. He's also interactive in wrestling, right? Like WWE.
Yes.
Like I mean, there's a lot of shit you do, man. I see it all the time, and I'm like, oh, this shit is dope. Like
yeah, I try to stay well rounded, man, and just and also just bring hip hop to these cool new places. I'm really about that. Like whether it's gaming, wrestling, anime, comic books, whatever, like. There's hip hop heads that exist in all these spaces. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a matter of finding them and pointing them to what we do and just finding the connections. And it's just been a real fun, journey through all these different worlds,
Yeah. Has that always been your goal, like from the start?
Yeah, I think once I kind of found myself, like as corny as that sounds, but like,
that's real.
But yeah, once you find yourself and you realize what you enjoy doing and what makes you most comfortable. But I was highly inspired by Wu-Tang, by, Delta Funky Homo Sapien, by Doom. There were so many cats that would kind of dabble into these other cultures and subcultures and make the hip hop version of those things. You know what I'm saying? So Doom and all them heavy in the comics, cartoon references, things like that. And that would kind of pique my interest and be like, wow, like there is a space for this kind of stuff, Right. And so, yeah, it was pretty early on. It was actually my second album. I put out my first record in 2006. And by the second album, I just wanted to try something different. And I think it was like a time where I really just wanted to explore all the other things that I enjoyed and try to work them into my music, like as a concept album. And it was called Mega Ran. And then that's kind of where I've been ever since.
That's dope. That's super dope.
Yeah. How do you, so like, as you mentioned, there's like, there's hip hop heads in all the avenues that you touch. But there's just, I always wanted to know what you felt about it, because I also, I got punchlines that intertwine with like comics and movies and, Marvel, DC, video games. Like I got punchlines that intertwine in all those things, but people think of me as more of a hardcore punchline dude. How do you feel about the nerdcore title? I'm curious.
Well, I used to kind of run from it. I was like, oh man, I'm more than that. And I think it's just maybe what it meant to some people. Like it would just kind of conjure up these images. Like you think nerdcore, you're like, all right, this is a guy that has a pocket protector and it's just a geek and is like recording like low quality music on like his headset microphone and what I'm saying, and programming while and writing rhymes about like that was just, I think the word I always think of with that is just like, man, I don't want to be corny. Like that was my whole like thing. I was just trying to run from being corny. And to me, that was like running towards it. And so I met a cat, MC Frontalot, who like popularized the term nerdcore. And he said just the opposite. We were just talking. We ended our tour with a talk at Brown University in Providence, which is Ivy League school. And we get to sit and talk about hip hop, which is crazy to think. But yeah, he was just like, man, I ran to the corny. He's like, I call myself front a lot, just for that reason. To be like, oh man, like the whole thing was, oh, you can't be fronting, you can't be this if you're hip hop. He's like, no, I'm gonna run to the corny. So now you have nothing to clown. You know what I mean? And I was like, oh, that's kind of brilliant. You embrace your what makes you different. And if you embrace it and you're proud of it, then can't nobody clown you on it, because like if it ain't gonna hurt me, then it's fine. You know what I'm saying? Like I think about that because I started off in rap battles and, doing freestyle battles. I did the last Scribble Jam and a bunch of other events. And
what?
It was,
Hold on. You were there? I was at the last one.
Yo, for real?
Yeah, I was there.
That's crazy.
I battled in the prelims because I never signed up to be in the main battle. I would always battle in the prelims in Cincinnati, right? So I battled, who'd I battle? I battled Al P prelims, and then I battled Kid Twist, who used a whole lot of pre-writtens against me.
Yo, Kid Twist destroyed me, dog, in the actual battle.
Right, so you were there. That's crazy.
First round, Kid Twist knocked me out. Yeah.
That's crazy that I didn't know that was you there. That's crazy.
That's insane, bro. Yeah, man. First round, I went there. It's so funny. Like I was in Philly and then I moved to Arizona and I was like, oh man, I'm going to miss the Philly prelims. And then they did a Phoenix prelim. And I was like, oh, cool. So I jumped in the Phoenix prelim and won. And my boy in Philly, Storyville, won the Philly prelim. So then we both came out there together. And I was like, man, that'd be crazy if we have to battle each other. And we didn't. But he had Franco first round. And he beat Franco. And I think everybody knows, beat him in the next round. And man, it was just a great moment just being out there. But yeah, Kid Twist destroyed me. And but yeah, a lot of pre-writtens, but that was just kind of the name of the game then. You know, if you had something that was funny, you had it stored up. And I could tell, like, he's like, all right, so here's what I say when a guy looks like this. Here's what I say when a guy has glasses. Here's what I say when a guy's
Yep.
fat. Here's what I
Yeah,
say when it's a girl.
He had them already. He had them already, like
Oh
the whole
yeah.
shit.
Oh yeah. And I mean I think that's a good way to be in that environment, you know, is being ready for everything. But there's an element of off the top and unrehearsed and rebuttals that I think make guys like Thesaurus, you know, and who won that year? I think No Can won that year.
Won, yep, the last one.
So like the art of the impromptu is what, and the rebuttals and stuff is what like really catches people's ears. Like, oh wow, he just, you know. So but yeah, man, I was there. We were doing a lot of battling, but it was always like, let me try not to be corny. And I remember I had and I was like, I'm gonna run to the corny. And so I wore a prop t-shirt. It was like a LED battery powered t-shirt that would like go up with like a you know, like a bit of a fader on it as the sound was going. And I was like, all right, so he can't possibly have anything pre-written to talk about my talk about this shirt, because the shirt's weird. And so, you know, he did a few things, but he didn't acknowledge the shirt at all. And I was ready for it. Like, I had rebuttals planned for the shirt, and he wasn't the type of artist that would do that. You know what I mean? And so it just threw me all the way off. I was like, all right, he gonna talk about my shirt. And then I got all these lines to ready for, you know, and he didn't do that. He just was like, oh, you're overweight and you're fat and you're fat, you know, and it was just like funny stuff. And but yeah, I knew that wasn't really my environment, you know, that's not where I shine the best. So but I tried it because I really enjoyed it. And then you know, once Scribble Jam ended, I was like, all right, well, I got to find some use for this particular set of skills. You know, I'm like Liam Neeson's and Taken. And so I started just kind of freestyling about video games, comic books, you know, like, all right, how many rhymes can I, you know, mention with this, or flips can I do on G.I. Joe characters or whatever. And so that's just where it kind of began from doing that. And yeah, it was just finding something I was comfortable with. And then really finding that entire world of nerdcore, because they kind of found me. I was just out doing my thing. And then I made an album called Black Materia, and it kind of blew up. You know, it hit like Reddit and really did well. And it was just me rapping about Final Fantasy VII, like from the perspective of the characters. And Final Fantasy VII is like my favorite game of all time. So I knew it front and back. So being able to do that and make it dope, people were just like flipping out, like, oh my God, I never knew this was even possible. So then I started getting invited to not only to the typical, you know, shows, you know, venue shows, but then Comic Cons were calling me to come play, and festivals were calling me to come play. And like, I would be like the only rapper on the bill a lot of times. And I was just like, oh, this is kind of cool. Like, it just kind of took me to a different world where I'm able to, like I said, bring hip hop to these places. And so yeah, it was just, that wasn't my intention, not at all. I just wanted to express myself. And now people come up to me like, yo, you're a trailblazer, like you're a legend and this and that. And like, yo, you've really like expanded the game, like as far as like being nerdy with bars and things like that. And I'm just like, oh man, like I appreciate all that. But I was just trying to just be myself. And because I was coming up in Philly, and like Philly early 2000s was rough. You know what I mean? Like the music was rough.
When did you move to Arizona?
Oh, I moved in 2007. So
okay.
So but early before that, I was playing shows in Philly every week. So I'm playing with like Jedi Mind Tricks, Reef the Lost Cause, Army of the Pharaohs, nice. You know, just like a lot of like pretty hardcore cats. And I remember playing a show. We opened for Sean Price, rest in peace. And I'm playing the show with Sean. I was like, oh, there's no way I could play these video game tracks here. This ain't gonna work. So, you know, I still was making music that was traditional style. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna just do the battle bars, you know. And then we had a pause in the music, and this dude in the crowd was like, yo, play the Mega Man, John. And I was like, what you know about Mega Man? And the whole crowd was like, yo, we fucking with Mega Man, you know? And like, it really surprised me, but I guess it shouldn't have.
Clue. You didn't have no clue.
I had no clue. I should have known. I mean, Sean P's like always had the funny lyrics, a lot of, funny references. His crew was the Decepticons, you know what I'm saying? So like a lot of that stuff.
His fanship is a wide base too.
Yes, very wide base of kind of rap nerds like Sean P.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right. And so in that same way of like MF Doom, So I didn't realize it at the time. I just thought it was going to be, mean, punch you in your face, Timberlands and polos rap, and I was like, oh, if I start kicking some video game bars, they're going to be like, no, get him off the stage. No, but they was into it, man. And like, they just, they showed me a lot of love. And I think that's when I realized like, okay, so you don't have to be this, like be one way again with one crowd or be this way with another crowd. During that time of your set, whether it's 15 minutes, 30 minutes or whatever, you're supposed to bring them to your world, like it's supposed to come with you and experience it through your eyes. So that's what I kind of had to learn, the hard way, is that, I can be exactly who I am. Y'all only got me for 20, 30 minutes. And you could decide after that if this is something you want to rock with, So
that's what's up, yeah.
So yeah, man, it's just been a wild journey, man. It really has. Like I didn't predict any of this. I was just doing it because I hated my job. I was a teacher. And at night I just wanted to do something else. So I was like, I was like Batman, I taught middle school reading and social studies and stuff. And so at night, I would just go home, make beats, write rhymes, and go do open mics or whatever. And weekends, I would go and tour because like teaching was the best job for me to have because it gave me some flexibility. You know what I mean? I could move, weekends, summers, bank holidays, I could go play a gig. So it always kept me pretty busy. So yeah, I just appreciated being able to have a little bit of freedom to move around. And so that kept me, kept me working, like where a lot of my friends weren't able to be active like I was. And eventually 2011 was when I quit my job. After the Black Material record came out, I was like, all right, this thing's going viral. Like I have to figure out a way to make this really mean something and just be ready for a follow-up. And then MC Chris asked me to tour with him. And that was kind of the move. I played in Milwaukee that year for the first time. That was we did Cactus Club, I believe.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, man, like, and this is 2011. Like MC Chris was
great sounding venue, by the way.
Yeah, dope sound in there. It was my first time out there. We had a great time. MC Chris at the top of his like game and personality and popularity rather, and these crowds are just packed, and these rooms are just just full of kids who just want to hear some dope rap. And a lot of times they're just like, oh my God, like I never knew that stuff could sound like this. They always just pull me to the side or they come to the table like, oh my God, like this is so dope, And so from there, we were just able to kind of parlay another tour, like where I was like, all right, if the places I've made the biggest impact in, I'm going to attempt to go back out as just a solo headlining tour and see what happens. Some of them worked out, some of them didn't, but it enabled me to learn and to build my like audience, and so that helped out a lot. And yeah, man, it's just that tour is what did it for me. And it happened at just the right time. Like I quit my job and like a month later, he asked me to go on that tour. And yeah, it was pretty crazy.
That's dope. That's super dope.
That's crazy, man. And I mean, you've been touring ever since then, because I know I've booked you a few times out here.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, we recently just played a couple dates.
Yep.
On your recent tour with the Microphone Misfits. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
During that tour, obviously, this is just free form, man. We just kind of go all over the place. But during that tour, you had mentioned some things when you were on stage, some new things you had going on. And I didn't even know until I saw your announcement on it on social media. You got this song in this platinum selling video game that's out. I mean, discuss that. How did that happen? How does it feel to be a part of that? Like that's dope.
Oh man, yeah, it's pretty insane. I was lucky enough to get asked to be a part of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge soundtrack.
Oh
Um, I
wow.
I knew the cat who created the soundtrack. He's done a lot of stuff. He did some Sonic and some other things. Like he's just a really, really dope producer. And he's a hip hop head. And so he hit me up like, yo, I'm liking the way the soundtrack's going, but I really want to get you on here. And I was like, really? And he's like, yeah, man. But he didn't tell me, but he had like some heavy hitters on here. He had Ray and Ghost on the soundtrack.
Hmm.
He
Wow.
had like Mike Patton, who sings the original Turtles theme. Like he had like a lot of big names. And I was like, oh, wow. Like, and he was like, I want you to do the ending credits theme. And I'm like, what? The end credits?
Holy
Like when the
shit.
joint's coming down, like,
Yeah,
wow.
yeah.
Wow. And like I just was like, absolutely. And it was like one of the coolest things I ever did. And I liked it. The game is fire. Like it's perfect, like retro style. It's just like
Super
the game I
dope
used
game.
to.
Like I played the whole game. I played the whole run through with my daughters. Like, it's
Nice.
super
That's
dope.
dope. That's dope.
Yeah, it's super dope. And it feels like the old games we used to play. And
Yeah, yeah.
I had so much fun with it. And yeah, I was like, well, this works because it's really, really a good game. And so I'm like, absolutely, I want to be a part of this. And so I wrote a track and we put it together. And then the game just has been so successful. It's sold over 1 million copies. It's just like killing right now. And for like an indie game, like to do this is pretty wild. So
Right.
yeah, I'm glad to be a part of it, man. Like it's something that I would have done, like I would have loved to have done that when I was a kid, or I wouldn't even have dreamed.
Yeah,
I wouldn't even have
that's
dreamed of that,
crazy.
like being
That's
a part of like a Ninja Turtles universe. So I wrote the song and sent it back to him, and he was like, "Yo, this is great, but I got to send it off to Nickelodeon to get approval." And I was like, "Yo, Nickelodeon?" He's like, "Yeah, because they own the Turtles now, so
Right.
they have to approve it. And once they do, then we can put it in there." And he was like, "Yo, they love it." And I'm like, "Oh man, this is great."
How long
So
did it take for him to get back to you and Nickelodeon to get back to you? I'm curious.
maybe about 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Probably, yeah.
Yeah,
This is
they had
was that nerve wracking? Just like, all right, what they gonna say?
not really. Because it's like if they do get mad about anything or want me to change something, like I'll change something if I
You
have
just
to.
change it, right? Yeah.
I ain't want them to be like, "Oh, you got a sword," and you say something about I'm sticking a sword through you or something, then they might be like, "Oh, nah, you can't say that," But yeah, it was like
I wouldn't
easy.
have been approved. I wouldn't have been approved.
No, you damn
I
sure
say
wouldn't
some
have been approved.
outlandish.
No, hell no.
Hey, yo, I cut your head off with this. Like I was thinking about that, but I was like, all right, it's got to be something like PG for the Turtles. And
I mean, it's the Turtles. Yeah, it's 2-year-olds on up.
and yeah, and I was like, if Raekwon and Ghost can write something that's approved, then I can do it.
Yeah,
And
100%.
so yeah, man, I was just honored to be a part of it, man. So that happened, and then the Clerks 3 thing happened. Like all these
Yeah,
cool things
I
started
still haven't
happening.
watched that yet. I still haven't watched that yet.
I just recently saw that movie's
Yeah, you was
fire.
talking.
It's
Is
a
it?
great,
All
love
right.
it's a
All
great
right,
movie, man.
I'm about to literally watch that tonight.
Okay, it gets emotional. Like if
It
you've seen the
does.
other ones, it's
Oh,
It does.
really?
Yeah,
yeah.
like the I mean, I'm not
Don't
gonna
say
tell you what
don't.
happens,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
what I'm saying is it definitely gets emotional towards the end of the movie is
Oh,
Yeah.
good.
It
Maybe I
makes
need
you
a good
think
cry.
about
I
your
don't know.
life. It makes you think
Yeah.
about your life. Like these guys
Yeah,
are
I
older,
mean,
and
yeah.
so yeah, it makes you think about your life for sure. And it
Well,
was
that's interesting. That's
mhm.
interesting because we've literally kind of grown with the franchise in a way.
Yeah.
Is that how they frame it?
Yeah, absolutely. So you've grown
Okay.
up with these characters and now they're becoming adults and they're changing and their outlook is changing. So but same thing with that. Well, that one I really reached out. I was like, you know what? I never do this, but when Kevin Smith started talking about the movie, he put up a post or something like, yo, we want songs for this movie. And I always
Oh,
pick
wow.
like independent artists. So if you're an independent artist and you got something, just send it my way and I'll do my best. And respond to this tweet or something like that. So I got in the tweet and was like, yo, check this song out. And luckily the song was already out. Cause like if it wasn't, I'd have probably been weird about it and been like, no, I don't want to just give you an unreleased track. But it was already out. This track, Tractor Beam, that's on the album Line 95. I really liked the song. I thought it was like fun, nerdy. It's me singing. It's very different from what I've created in the past, but I thought it could work for this.
Yeah.
And so I sent it over, and then I get a DM from some dude, and he's like, "Yeah, my name's William. I'm Kevin Smith's friend, and can you send us a wave file of this? And I was like, are you
Are
you really gonna send us a master, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, whoa, slow down. I was like, wait, who are you again? And then he gave me his full name and his email. And then I started Googling him to see if it was really him. And the cool thing about Kevin Smith and like the way he does business and works, he works with all his friends. Like everybody around them, they're in every movie. Either they're behind the scenes on every movie, they popped up in movies. Like they're friends. Like it's not some like corporate bunch behind them.
Similar to Adam Sandler, Judd Apatow.
Yes, very similar. Like you find your people that you vibe with, and you keep them around. And so this dude's name came up as like in IMDb as being in Clerks 1 and 2. And I was like, oh, well then, all right, he's legit, and he's like, yeah, I work, I answer his emails for him sometimes, and I'm a friend, and he throws me in movies. And I'm like, oh, that's crazy. So he was really, really nice. And I was like, absolutely, man, I'll send it to you. And he started sending me emails like, I think it's approved. I think we're going to get it into this movie. And so me wanting to extend the moment, I was just like, all right, now I can have the guts to actually ask this dude if he can like give me a ticket to the premiere. And so I finally did. I was like, yo, you think you can, help us out with a couple tickets to the premiere? And he's like, oh, we're not doing a premiere in your town in Arizona, but, sorry, but maybe next time. And I was like, oh, no, I didn't say it had to be in Arizona. Like, I'm trying to go to Hollywood. Like, what's good?
I'm a hop, skip, and a jump. What are we talking
about?
Right,
bro. Like, LA is right there. Like, it's just a couple hours. What's good? And he's like, well, actually, yes, we're doing it in LA at the Chinese Theater on Hollywood Boulevard on this date. Boom, you're approved for 2 tickets. Like, you can make it. And I was like, yo. So, it's like if I didn't ask, that wouldn't have happened, So
closed mouth don't get fed, man. Yeah.
Absolutely, man. So like of all the songs, I think he had like 17 songs that they used for the soundtrack. I think one of the other bands was there at the premiere, but like the other guys either just didn't ask or just wasn't into it or wasn't close enough to make it happen. Got to go there. I met, Rosario Dawson. I mean, like all these people that have cameos. I don't want to give them away because you got to watch.
Is she fine in person too?
Oh man, finer. More.
He had to ask it.
More amazing in person. What was so crazy is that she was with her boyfriend, and he was like playing his part. He was real cool. He would just fall back, let her take pictures with everybody, let her hug everybody. And at the end of the night, I was like, yo, man, you look kind of lonely, bro. You good? He's like, yeah, I'm fine, man. I just letting her be a star, man.
Like I do this all the time.
Yeah, he's like, ain't nothing, man. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take a picture with you too, because ain't nobody taking pictures with you. So why not? So he took a selfie. Yeah, I just wanted to make him laugh. He was cool. And so yeah, but it was just amazing, man. So then prior to that is when I actually got a chance to meet Kevin Smith. Like it was at Comic-Con. And he was just like, told me personally, like, man, I love the song. I can't stop singing it.
That's awesome.
On my runs, I'm playing it all the time. And it's in a very important part of the movie. And I was like, really? Because I'm just thinking you put a song in a movie, it's just a car is going to be riding by playing the song. Oh, I just heard it for 2 seconds. Rewind it. No. But he was like, no, there's a big moment. He's like, I don't want to give it away, but there's a huge moment, probably in the first 15 minutes of the movie. And a big thing happens. And at that point, they play the music for like a minute and a half, maybe 2 minutes.
Wow.
Like a lot. Yeah,
that's long as fuck for a movie, man.
That's what I'm saying. It like really beds the scene. Like he was saying, he's explaining that to me, where he's like, no, this is not just a track that just plays in the back. I thought it was gonna be like, oh, it's playing on the radio. No, it like really beds the scene. And I was just like shocked the whole time. I was just sitting there watching with this big goofy grin on my face, like, yo, I'm in a movie. Yeah, it was insane, man. So that with the Turtles thing happening this year, it's just been like, it's been really cool opportunities coming from these new places, which has been like really exciting.
That's dope. That's what's up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Ram actually has a brother in Arizona.
I grew up in Arizona. Poker Face, my brother, man.
Yo, Poker's my guy.
That's my brother.
Yo,
Yeah.
that's your literal brother.
I'm his only brother. Like we're literally the only. It's just me and
What?
him. Yeah.
Yo, Poker Face is like
I was doing
he's
stuff
like the
out there
mayor out
before I
here,
moved.
bro.
Yeah. He literally says the mayor of Phoenix.
He's the
That's
mayor,
funny.
bro. They love man. We
I
love
already
Poker
know.
out here.
I moved from Phoenix in 2004 because my daughter was being born and her mom was from Wisconsin, so I moved to Wisconsin. So that's how I know Danko because then I started to do my hip hop shit out in Wisconsin. We
That's
met
what's
in
up.
24th. Yeah. I was gonna bring that up at some point, but
That's dope, yo.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah. So I've been watching your shit like, oh man, this is dope. It's Arizona dude. I've always been like, I've been in there in Wisconsin, like, oh, this is super dope. To watch,
Yo,
watch
that's
you
what's
grow and
up.
shit. Yeah.
Yeah,
I remember
I've
they
been
was
on his show.
playing.
They were doing a beat
Yeah,
locker.
I was gonna say. I remember when he was on Beat Locker and they were playing so much shit on there.
Yeah, man. Like Poke shows a lot of love. That's what's up, man. I gotta tell him I'm hanging out with his brother. That's so crazy. Small world, bro.
Yeah, man.
He's
Sure.
like I said, he's the mayor out here. He's the guy.
Yeah,
Oh
man.
shoot.
So
sorry to cut y'all off. The baby is crying. I gotta go get him real quick.
Oh, do your thing.
Right.
Yeah, let me go take care of that. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
He just woke up. All right.
Ram, what's going on, man?
Chilling, man. You?
Yeah. How you digging the episode? Me and
this is fun, man. This is crazy because he's talking about a lot of stuff that's interesting to me.
Yeah, me and him. You heard the joint that me and him have together, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
that shit turned out fresh.
Fine. Yeah.
It's crazy because I asked a nerdcore question because he's completely not nerdcore at all on the joint that we had. Like if you consider something nerdcore, you know what I'm saying?
Well, the funny thing is, I think that's a label where I kind of, I've heard enough from him to where it varies to me. Yeah. So the nerdcore is too specific. I just didn't agree from what I've heard from other nerdcore for so-called nerdcore artists. But that's not really an actual label. It's like people put these imprints on people who rap in a certain way or a subculture. I've never liked that. Like, you're this, you're that. Oh, you gangster or you conscious. And I'm like, well, I don't know. I mean, I'm awake. I don't know what the fuck you mean. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I've never.
Yeah. I mean,
I've never bought into any of that shit.
Yeah, because I'm all over the place. I do my own
me
shit.
Too. I mean, right. I might slap the shit out of you, but I also might tell you peace. You know what I mean? Verbally. I'm saying, you know what I mean? I'm saying vocabulary.
No, I feel that.
Yeah, so I don't know. I've never got into that shit. So I think he's a pure MC, and most MCs can do all kind of different shit. That's what I think.
Yeah, definitely. Let's give a quick shout out to the people in the room that commented. We got Wade Woods in the room.
Who we talking to? What up, Wade?
Woods, the homie Urban Legend in the house. Cesaro, Jonathan Jordan in the house, stopping by.
What up?
I'm back. Yeah, just had to feed him a little bit. He's good.
That's cool. How old is he?
He is 1. He just turned 1 year.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you gotta handle that. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we were while you were away, we were just giving a couple people some shout outs that were in the chat room, and then we were also discussing briefly about how me and you had a joint together.
Yeah.
And I was just basically to sum up what was going on is Ram was saying, me and him, there's labels like the nerdcore label or whatever, but basically people are just themselves when it comes to hip hop. And I feel like I wouldn't put like a nerdcore title on what you did on the joint that we had, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like it was just some rugged hip hop shit. That's the vibe I got. Like, it was like punchlines, dope wordplay, you know what I'm saying? Like just dope shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I was saying, I think I've heard enough from him that it's versatile enough to where I think it's just a label people put there and they try to put people in a box. But it's like, but some people get outside of that in a lot of ways.
It's true. It's the thing that like most artists kind of hate more than anything, to be like placed in a box where it's like, oh, this is the kind of music they make, But with rap, I mean, even I was just talking to somebody in New York, just at the bar. They're like, oh, you rap? What kind of rapper are you? Or what kind of rap music you make? And I'm like, I don't know, just rap music. Like, I don't like what I was
Yeah.
like. So, you know, I
Yeah.
guess kind of, and I had to really think about it. I was like, I guess kind of like every man, every day, like regular rap stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I
That's
just
an
couldn't
interesting
even.
way to put it. I've never heard that described like that, but that's
I
real. That
can't.
there's
But
a
no,
subgenre for that.
that's definitely a subgenre. Like,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah,
where
yeah.
they used to call it conscious backpack, whatever. But I
Right,
think
right, right.
I
I was
definitely
just saying
think there's
that.
a lane for, you know, just regular guy rap. You know,
Right, right, right.
definitely.
Yeah,
And so I had a tough time of like putting that into words for him. I was like, I guess you just gotta listen to it, man.
yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah,
yeah.
explain how you got involved with WWE, because you performed, right, on like you performed in the ring before, haven't you?
Yeah, I have
Oh wow, I didn't know that part.
like I had an interesting relationship with them due to my friend Xavier Woods. He's a wrestler over there with the New Day. And you know, so he's invited me to shows and this and that. So I've been watching it on and off my whole life. But to be able to go to a show was like real dope to see it up
It's
close
crazy.
and kind of. And once I started meeting the guys, I realized, man, this is a lot like what we do as rappers on stage. You know, just entertainment at the end of the day is just entertainment. So seeing that and being able to like see it up close has been real cool. And then friends would be like, hey, can you make a song for me for my entrance? Can you do this for me? And that's, you know. And so when I did get to come in the ring, it was like for like a skit that they did where it was like a rap battle. And they had the wrestlers rap battling each other. And then they did it. So they had like some real rappers there to just kind of, you know, go over the bars with them and, you know, just to kind of encourage them and, you know, show them how it was done. And that was cool. So I got a chance to be on TV doing that. I've written songs that are playing on TV, which is cool.
So
And so yeah, it's been a real cool relationship, man. They like a lot of the guys look out for me. Like most of the time we just talk video games, you know, like all of them are big
right.
gamers too.
That's
They
dope.
travel so much, so ain't nothing else to do but play a game on the flight or something, you know.
Yeah,
And so yeah, it's just a lot of similarities. Like we always joke like rappers want to be ball players and ball players want to be rappers.
right,
You know,
right,
it's kind of like that in wrestling too, you know, like
right, right.
they know that rappers are the coolest thing, you know. So it's
Yeah,
like they definitely want a little bit of that swag. So it's like it's just dope to see, like, you know. And I think that's where comes like being yourself, where basically another thing I learned from wrestling is like these guys are playing a character on TV, but the character is based on their own personality, but just turned all the way up.
it's a
You know,
persona, right? Yeah,
yeah. So it's like that's what people said with The Rock. They was like The Rock was, you know, kind of cocky, you know, and so they were like, "Yo, just be over the top with it when you get on TV." And then people will take to it. And that's kind of how it works. So that's kind of my persona. Like I love video games, but they don't like make up my every like moment of life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
right, right.
But they are a big part of my personality, who I am. So putting and inserting those into my music and my output and my aesthetic of graphics and, you know, logos and other things like that, it's helpful. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, they like shirt. Nice,
Dope.
nice. So yeah, it's very helpful. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
So of
Yeah.
all those things that we've talked about so far, what's your favorite thing outside of the actual music itself, of course, but like your favorite thing out of all those, the games, like what's your favorite thing you
Hmm.
got going on right now?
Man, right now I'm writing music for games. Like I want to do like after
Okay.
the Turtles thing, I want to do that more often. I want to score a game, like, you know, start to finish, where I'll be like, I'll make the beats for this, that, I'll write the theme song for the characters. That's what I really want to do. I feel like there's not enough hip hop in video games.
And
And
it's
You ever thought about voiceover work? You should do voiceovers too. You ever
man, I
thought
would
about that?
love to. Yes. So
I'm
if you
actually
know
about to start
anybody,
recording some real. I don't, but well. Let me rephrase that. The guest we just had on, Roger McDaniel, this comedian in Austin, I'm in Austin, Texas now.
mhm,
And he actually helped me with this lady, but I got to get a reel together, a
yes,
voice reel together.
I
So I'm
did a
actually
reel.
trying to start working on that, but I don't know exactly what to do. So I'm just going to write it like I would a rhyme. You know what I mean?
That's a good idea. I used to. I
That's
did
where
a
I'm at.
reel one time. Man, I did one.
But you should do it.
I'm trying to think. I had a friend who did. He was looking for people to do commercials for the local radio station. It might have even been Poker Face. No, but it was a friend at Poker Face, and he was like, "Yo, I'm on the radio now, but we need a person to do the voiceovers to read, whatever's happening. A local barbershop doing an ad, got to do the read." And he would give me the stuff to read, and I was just like, "Oh man, I don't know if I can do this," because they'll be like, "We need a urban." Guy to say these things and pronounce the words like this because this is going to play because this is going to play in Texas and they pronounce four like four. So you have to say it like three, four, four, And I was like, oh, I don't like this. But yeah, like,
I guess there's that technicality that might make it unfun,
But yeah, like when you specifically have to do, but that's what it is. They give you a character and you fit in and do it. I would be into it for sure. I got some friends who do voice acting, and I've asked them. I was like, "Yo, how do you get started?" And they're like, "Oh man, you gotta just make a dope reel." You make a dope reel, show your range. You go from funny to monsters to a boss to whatever, and show what you can do, and they'll hopefully find a fit for you. So, man, good luck with that, man. I hope that really works out because I want to do it too. So
I was gonna say, is that something you think you would do? Yeah.
Yes, I would love to try it, man. I think I can pull it off. I'm pretty good at voices. I used to just kind of. When I was a young little bad kid, I used to just impersonate all my teachers, and to the point where I could sound just like them, and they'd be like, "Oh my god, I thought that was the." So yeah, I was just really bad at, and like just that was my thing, like mocking people. You'd be like, "Shut up!" I'd be like, "Shut up."
That's good.
I was like a tape recorder. So I feel like I could pull it off. So I want to get into that for sure. Especially with this kid, I've been doing Elmo voices all week because like he actually responds to that. I'd be like, "Elmo loves you," and he'd be like, he'd look around like he think it's Elmo there. And so
I used to do Squidward from SpongeBob from my daughter when she was like, I don't know, 6, 7, 8, right in there.
That's what's up.
I don't like Krabby Patty SpongeBob. Like I do this. I don't want them Krabby Patty SpongeBob. And she would just her and her friends. She would tell her friends, "Hey, Daddy, do the Squidward. Do the Squidward."
That's kids will definitely keep you into that. They keep you young, and that's the energy you need when you do a voice acting for sure.
Yeah, for sure. What's up next? Like, what are the big things coming next that you can talk about?
Man, it's not a whole lot right now. This is one of the few times where like I don't have like a creative project right down the pipeline. I got a single. I got a single coming next month that I'm really proud of. Yeah, it's time for rest. I had a whole album. I put out this album last year called Live 95. The album was really dope. I think it got the Billboard. It had the song Tractor Beam on it. And then I had a follow-up ready. It was going to be like the deluxe edition or whatever with like 6 or 7 more songs and this and that. And then I was like, you know what? We're in kind of a single driven world. So I'm just going to hold these songs and put them out as singles. So every few months I'll drop one of the songs from it, because if I just drop a new 14 songs right now, like, I don't know how, I don't know how today's audience will intake those. I feel like sometimes people just need to ingest one at a time. It's just it's a different audience, a different world. Like I write in concept albums. Like that's kind of how I write. But now I'm just trying to train my brain and pick it apart and just drop them separately, see how they do. Yeah. And then and maybe still drop the full project. But right now, not a lot that I have to get done, which is good. Just finishing up features for a lot of friends. Video game soundtrack stuff, like a few top secret game projects are in my inbox that I really want to do something real dope for. So that's the next move. I just want to get into more media, like pop up on games, pop up on movies, pop up on other places. And then I can continue to do the touring and conventions and all that stuff too.
Yeah, man. Speaking of features, we might have to get you on another joint, man. In the near, you know what I'm saying?
I'm down, bro. Have you called the Guinness World Records, because you might have like the most features of like any rapper ever. Like, you should call Guinness and see if they can like certify you. Because like, yo,
I mean,
the feature collab list is insane. So like, I don't know. You should look into that. Like,
that's not a bad idea. You
Might be
should
something
just
to
to
look
see what,
into.
at least to have a point. You know, they might be like, "Oh, you 98 short," and you'd be like, "Let's go."
like, all
You know
right,
what I'm
yeah,
saying?
you find your goal number. Like, let's go.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. But yeah, I'm definitely down, man. We got to do another one. It's been a minute.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So
and
tell me this. I want to ask you
Go
a
ahead,
question though, real quick. Thank you. So when it comes to collabs, like when you are collaborating, are you looking to like tell me what's the best collab situation? Because sometimes it's like, all right, somebody send me a verse or they send me a verse or a track with an open 16 and they're like, oh, go get it. Or they just send me a beat and they be like, oh, just whatever you feeling, dog, I'll build the song around you. Or we get on the phone or we get on like a chat or on a Zoom or something and be like, all right, so I'm gonna say this, you say that, bring up a whole, I've been like extreme with it with some people I work with. They're like, bring up the Google Doc. All right, my words are color coded red and you're gonna color code blue and we're gonna go back and forth on some and
That's
really
pretty
do it.
intricate right there, man.
Yeah, very intricate.
mean,
so I've seen it on all levels. So what's your favorite way to collab? Like just the quick and easy or the full getting into it or somewhere in the middle?
I mean, I'm probably in the middle on it. Like I like multiple ways of doing it, but like my favorite shit, I think one of my favorite projects I've done is probably working with the Cypher Den dudes, because we like had talks. Like Cypher Den is me, Ram, Urban Legend, and then Bofat is like the official Cypher Den producer. But we've had talks of concepts, we've bounced ideas off and done stuff like that. And like when me and Ram we sat in the room and created 2 joints. And me and Urban, we sit in the room and create joints. Me and my dude Carnage, we sit in the room, create joints. And then there's people like when I worked with Sean Price, like you said, rest in peace. We were on the phone talking about the joint. So that was super dope to me. Obviously there's a lot of joints where it's just like, I'll send them the joint and they'll do it, or they'll send me the joint and I'll do it. And it's cool that it happens. It's cool that it happens, but I want the same energy to be there is what it is.
Yeah.
And like a lot of the times when you work, like I got big collabs with huge people. Like, I don't think they gave a fuck that the song happened. I just think that it was a song, we did it, and that was it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
I want to go back. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were done.
But there's definitely been ones that I felt were like genuine. They wanted to do the project. They wanted to work. Like me and Young Z, we got a full record together, and we talk all the time about when we're gonna put it out, like how we can't wait people to hear it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so
yo, I need to hear that. Shout out to Young Z.
I'm saying,
well, in today's world, it might get us canceled. I'm not even gonna lie. We talk a lot of shit.
That's how you're supposed to do it right there.
But that's what people expect from Young Z. Like you got to give them something. Wow. Yeah.
But yeah, man, I definitely think I'm in the middle. I'm definitely in the middle with it, man. Like I like both ways. Like the way we did our joint, I liked how the joint worked out. I liked what you did with it. And sometimes you can't have that that sit down with somebody because they're moving, they're constantly busy. Like I didn't get to have a sit down with Fredro about our joint, but we talked, we built. When I finished it, he loved the joint, and now I'm down with the Hunter Mad brand. So us
That's
working
dope.
together kind of made that happen.
Nice. That's dope.
So in terms of that process, I want to ask both of y'all then. When it comes to, like you said at one point, that people might give you a beat and just say, all right, I'll build around you. Is that the worst scenario of it? Because I wouldn't like that myself.
That's the worst.
As an MC, I would hate that.
Worst. That is the
I need to write
worst.
the hook too. I need to write the hook.
It feels it feels very lazy. It's like people being like,
Right.
"Hey man, go make my song for me," and
Right.
then it's like, come on, man. No, like if you really want to collab with me, then come up with an idea that's going to
Like,
get me
throw me a
excited.
bone. Right.
Yeah, give me something that's going to excite me, not just like, oh, there's a beach. Do what you do.
Yeah.
Do what you do.
Yeah.
I'm like, how long? However long you want.
Yeah.
And I'm like, come
No
on,
direction.
man.
Just
No
here.
direction.
Yeah. Right.
Or with me, like I'm the video game dude, so they'll be like, "Oh man, I just sampled this Donkey Kong, yo," and it's like, yo, ain't nobody ever done this before, yo. We about to kill the game. So, yo, this song is called, and it's always something like mad generic, like, yo, it's called Level Up, yo.
Yeah. It's 007, the Golden Gun. You know
Yeah. They'd be like, yeah, man, here's a song I got called, One Up or something. And,
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, here we go. Like, just want something generic, And, but I'm always going to give my all to it. But yeah, it's like, man, if I can get excited about it, those are the ones that I'm going to be like, yeah,
Yes.
But it happens like every once in a
What
while.
up?
Somebody's like,
What
"Oh,
up?
this just One Up. I just sampled Pac-Man, and it's about to hit." It's about
We're gonna call it Chasing Ghosts.
Yo. But yo, my kid is still crying. I might have to go and like actually
no,
feed
man.
him. So I'm sorry.
It's all good.
No, you great, man. We appreciate having you on, man. This has been great, man.
Yo, I appreciate y'all having me, man. Like it's great to just be able to talk rap with some cool cats,
Word, man. Word. Good to meet you, by the way.
Likewise, bro. So
Thanks,
you're out in Texas? He said
I'm in
Austin,
Austin, Texas now. Yeah.
Nice.
I'm out here doing stand up and music and stuff. Yeah.
That's what's up. I get out there usually for South by, so
Word,
I'll try to hit you up if I'm out
there.
my
brother will be here in mid-November. He's coming out here for a little bit, or supposed to. We'll see what for work. Yeah, so he's gonna be hanging out.
Word up. We played a spot,
end up
man.
going to the baby concert. We were talking about that last podcast.
Yo, the baby. Wow. Okay.
I'm not a big fan. My brother likes him. I'm just kind of like, I'll go.
I'll go see anybody.
He got some bars, but
you got some bops. Few slaps.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I was telling Daku last podcast. Like,
no, it's not my thing.
It's gonna be a party.
It's not my thing.
It's gonna be a party. I'm not going to be wild.
It's funny because I was DJing all weekend. I don't think I played any the baby, but I definitely played a few cats where I was like, all right, like this beat kind of bang. This ain't bad. I've definitely kind of opened my mind. I used to be super rap Nazi, like, nah, son. I ain't playing none of that mess.
I'm definitely open mind too. Yes.
Yeah, it's like, oh, this 808s and this, I ain't playing it, But now, like, I mean, it's just where the music is now. So it's like I can meet the people where they are to have a good time. So
there's gonna be good music somewhere in there.
Yeah, I could find something good out of it, And so
Deku's like, I just don't want to look.
Wow. Yeah.
Anyway.
That's funny.
Let you go, bro.
All right, y'all. So our next collab, we got to get Denku on the auto tune for the hook.
Hey, and that's what's up. That would be great to hear.
I don't know about all that, man.
Make it a comedy song. Make it a comedy song.
Yeah, get him on the auto tune, saying something real hard, real disrespectful, but auto tuned up.
And this has been live from the Den podcast. We'll end it right there. Appreciate you, man.
All right, y'all. Appreciate y'all. I'll talk soon, y'all. Peace.
All right, man.
Peace, my man. All right.